A friend of mine just asked me the other day, what is the absolute fastest way to learn SQL? Seems like everyone at his job is using it, and he felt like he was falling behind. So I put together a roadmap for him. And today, I'm going to share that exact plan with you. We're going to dive into a really modern AI-powered way to master SQL fast.
But okay, let's get the big question out of the way first. I know what you're thinking. With all this crazy AI that can write code for us, is learning SQL in 2025 even worth it? It's a totally fair question, and honestly, the answer is probably not what you'd expect.
And here's why. Think about it. AI can spit out a query that looks absolutely perfect. But if you don't know what you're looking at, how can you trust it? It's like having a calculator that sometimes gives you the wrong answer. If you can't double-check the work, you could end up feeding your company bad insights, and that leads to really bad business decisions. See, SQL isn't just about writing code anymore, it's about validation. It's about knowing what's right.
And honestly, its relevance goes even deeper than that. Just look at the modern data stack. We're talking about the heavy hitters: Databricks, Snowflake, BigQuery, even your go-to visualization tools like Power BI and Tableau. The one thing that ties them all together, SQL. It is the literal bedrock, the fundamental language of the entire data world. You can't escape it. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with 2 golden rules for the right mindset. Then we'll walk through our 4 phases: getting your setup right, nailing the core skills, moving on to advanced techniques, and finally building a portfolio that actually gets you noticed. All right, first up, the 2 golden rules. Seriously, before you even think about writing code, we need to get your mindset right. This is the secret sauce for learning fast and making it stick.
Golden rule number 1 is the 80-20 rule. And trust me on this, it is non-negotiable. You should only spend about 20% of your time watching videos or reading tutorials. The other 80%? That needs to be you, hands-on keyboard, actually writing queries. You just can't learn SQL by watching someone else do it. You learn it by doing it.
And that brings us to rule number 2, which is all about focus. So many people fall into this trap of trying to memorize every single keyword and all the weird syntax. That's the wrong way to go. The right mindset is to focus on understanding how data actually moves and transforms through a query. Once you get that logic, the syntax is the easy part, especially now when you can just ask an AI to remind you of the specifics.
Okay, mindset locked in? Good. Let's get into the roadmap itself. Here are the 4 phases that will take you from zero to a pro portfolio.
All right, phase 1, your setup. This is all about making a few simple but really key decisions to make sure you start off on the right foot. Okay, 3 simple rules here. First, and this is a big one, pick one course and stick with it. Bouncing between different teachers just gets confusing. Second, make your own simple learning plan. Don't just follow someone else's. You know your schedule best. And third, just choose one database and don't stress about it. Seriously, pick something like Postgres or a SQL Server and just go. Remember, you're learning the core language of SQL, not the tiny differences between dialects.
Okay, setup is done. Now we get to the good stuff. Phase 2, the core skills. This is the bread and butter, the stuff you are going to use literally every single day on the job.
Now, I know this is where a lot of people get completely overwhelmed, but you don't need to be. To get started, you really only need to master 3 things. Just 3. First, filtering and sorting. That's your select, where, and order by. Second, combining data with joins. And look, just focus on inner and left joins. That's going to cover like 99% of what you'll ever need to do. And third, aggregating data using group by with functions like count, sum, and AVG. That's it. That's the foundation. And once you have a handle on those 3 blocks, you've hit a huge milestone. This is the moment you close the course. I'm serious. No more videos, no more tutorials. The passive learning part is officially over. From here on out, it's just you, a database, and your new best friend, the AI.
This is what I call the AI-powered practice loop, and it is a total game changer for learning fast. It's simple. Step 1, ask an AI like ChatGPT to act as your SQL coach and give you a challenge. Step 2, you write the query yourself, no cheating. Step 3, send what you wrote back to the AI for immediate feedback. And step 4, you repeat this every single day. This loop is how you build real muscle memory and true proficiency.
All right, let's move on to phase 3, advanced techniques. So you've got the basics down, you're practicing every day. Now you come to a fork in the road. The path you take next really depends on your goal. Are you aiming to be a data analyst or a data engineer?
And this table breaks down that choice perfectly. For a data analyst, you're going to dive deep into things like window functions, using rank to find your top-selling products, for example. And you'll live and breathe date functions for reporting. But if you're a data engineer, your focus shifts. You'll use a different kind of window function, ROW number, mostly for things like deduplicating data. You'll become an expert in string functions to clean up messy text. And while both roles use CTEs to keep code readable, as an engineer, you're also responsible for the heavy-duty stuff, like building views and optimizing performance with indexing.
Which brings us to our final and, honestly, the most important phase of all. Phase 4, your portfolio. This is where you transition from just practicing exercises to building real, tangible projects that prove to an employer that you can actually do the work.
And just like with the advanced skills, your portfolio projects are going to look very different. If you're an analyst, you're like a data detective. You'll do projects like an exploratory data analysis. Grab a cool data set and try to answer a business question, like which of our customers are most likely to churn. But if you're an engineer, you're more like an architect. Your project is way bigger in scope. You might build an entire data warehouse from scratch, designing the architecture, creating the tables, the whole shebang, from end to end.
So, if we boil this whole thing down, the core philosophy is incredibly simple. Learn just enough to get the fundamentals, practice a ton using AI as your personal coach, and then build real projects that you can actually show off. That's the formula.
So that leaves us with one last really important question. And it's not about which course to buy or what syntax to memorize. At this point, it's all about application. It's about taking these skills and doing something with them. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What question will your first project answer?